a town you never heard of. Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Folk Podcast with Ben, Morgan, and Andy.
Welcome back to Common Folk.
We are here live on location.
Just Morgan and Ben today. No Andy again.
No Andy. What is he doing probably? Running around with those kids?
Chasing his kids, I imagine. Yeah. Yep. So we are a little over 1,000 miles from home.
Yes.
Far, far east Texas, almost Louisiana. Little on-site today, completely different setup than we've ever done. We're hanging out in a shop. We've got a 12-pack of Coors Light here in front of us. I've got the recorder sitting on my leg here, resting for my adjustments. We're holding on to the mics.
Lawn chairs. I see a flag waving, too, in Texas.
Looks like a Texas flag and an American flag right there.
American flag.
Yep.
I mean, Texas people love their flag. What is that about? I mean,
Well,
I
we're
don't
gonna-
wave my Nebraska flag.
Oh, yeah, the Nebraska flag, right? Yeah, no,
We don't have, I don't even know what it looks like, but I sure know what a Texas flag looks like.
we've got...
It's everywhere.
If flags are up at home, it's the American flag.
Yeah, exactly.
Rarely do you see the Nebraska flag, unless
No.
it's like a state building or something.
Yeah.
But in Texas, folks definitely have the Texas flag flying a lot.
I know. I mean, when we were driving here, I saw Coors Light had a billboard in the mountains that looked like a flag. And then another, I don't know what other beer company had one too. And I thought, oh my God, Texas people love.
Pretty cool. There's a lot of
It
pride.
is. Yeah.
A lot of pride.
A lot of pride.
So what are we doing down here? We made this trip. We, for the last, been about, a month and a half, 2 months-ish, somewhere in that range. Spoke with this gentleman down here. I've been hunting a new smoker for a couple of years.
I was going to say a month and a half. I thought you had this thing going in.
Since I first met him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And looked at a lot of them, and in that world, there's a lot of strange things going on. There's there's a lot of like fraudulent stuff here and there. You got to be careful. People are always trying to take advantage, like where the money's going and whatever. And I think a lot of it's just like foreign people. They're stealing photos. They're pretending to be a true builder and they're not. And so everything I was real worried about. But I finally came across one that I liked the design. The gentleman that I was speaking to, I felt good about.
He seemed normal until we were like, until I was like, what if we make the trip and this guy isn't legit? Like,
and
what if
and
we
nothing's there? We show up, it's a fake address.
Like, that would be some shit.
Yeah, it would be. But I had a lot of confidence, and the communication was awesome the whole time through. And I'm seeing build pictures and all this kind of stuff. So rewind a little bit. I made the decision. Let's get it going. So I talked to this gentleman. He wanted me to put some money down on it, which is totally understandable. But I was a little bit worried. He was willing to kind of work the way I wanted to work with a credit card and get his system set up and all that kind of stuff. So we did that. That made me feel a lot better. And then the ball started rolling, and I started seeing photos, and I'm like, man, this is going to be so cool. And so here we are. We come down here this past weekend. You've got family in the Houston area, so we stayed with them.
Yes, my sister.
Yep. And that was fun, getting to see them and hang out and see their kids and all that kind of stuff. And so then today we travel the rest of the way. And the town that we're just outside of is pronounced Buna. Is that right? I thought on, when you read it, I just said Buna, but someone down here corrected me around Houston. Buna.
Buna.
Is that right?
Oh.
Is that the best? Okay. Yep. All right. So we come down here. That was another couple hours east of where your sister was.
Yes.
And I wanted to take this opportunity to interview this gentleman and talk about this business a little bit. And what we do. We talk. We call ourselves Common Folk. We talk to common folk, a lot of blue-collar people, just regular, everyday people doing really cool shit that people don't really understand is going on, and this is definitely one of them. So to begin with, I'd like to introduce Randy Carrell. How you doing?
Doing good.
Good, man. So we're down here at your place. This is a property that you said has been in your family for a long time?
Yeah, so it was about fourth generation.
Okay. You were showing us, where your grandparents' house was, and so, man, probably, what are you talking? How many years since you guys have been down here?
It's probably running about 100 years.
Wow. Yeah, it's a long
Yeah,
time.
you've got cousins and aunts and uncles all around us.
Gotcha. Yeah. So what, obviously, well, not obviously, to tell the whole story, you're building these smokers, and these things, in my opinion, when you look at the craftsmanship that goes into them, these are world-class machines. What, and you're doing it as almost like a hobby, although, it's working pretty well for you.
Yes.
But what's your day-to-day typically? What do you do full-time?
Full-time, actually, supervision or a fabrication and welding shop.
Okay.
Like I say, we do a lot of work for some high-end clients, but been in the industry for 23 years, 24 years now.
Yeah.
Started out welding, fabricating, and like I say, got into supervision and kind of got to where I was feeling like I was losing my touch, so back into welding and fabrication on the side.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so supervision, you wouldn't even be welding at all.
No, normally I'm
You're
supervising
just
welders
watching.
and fabricators. Yes.
And then telling them what they're doing wrong and right?
Yeah, it's making sure they're doing the right stuff.
Okay, so you're boss.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
prior to that, you'd have been one of the guys
Yes,
doing the welding. Yeah.
I
Just
welded
worked
for
your
them
way
for
up.
15 years before I
Yeah.
got into supervision.
Yep.
But it probably was a good break, right? For the time being.
Yes,
until you
it was
thought
nice at first, and then you kind of get bored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bet.
I say a lot of finger pointing and
Right.
not doing anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I say you start to get round instead of in shape.
And I think every now and then you kind of gotta show the rest of the crew what's up. You know what I mean? Like they need to know that you can do what
Yes,
you're asking
yes.
them to do.
You get a lot more out of respect than you do just
Yeah.
barking orders.
Yeah.
Like I
Absolutely.
say, get in there with them. If they need help, show them what to do.
Yep.
Like I say, the more they see you doing it, the more they're going to do it.
Yep. Did you get into that trade at a young age, or how did that
Yes,
come together?
right
for you?
out of high school, actually.
Okay.
Kind of fell into the spot. A friend of mine worked there and needed some more help. So started
Okay.
out at $7 an hour as a helper.
Mhm.
Like I say, we're paying 17 for helpers now.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just fell into it and then kind of learned as I went. Had
Okay.
a lot of good mentors, which most have been gone now.
So for yourself, as you came up through it, was all of your training and education on the job with that company?
Yes,
Okay.
on the job.
Yeah.
Is that typical? Because I'm from the outside looking in. Or do you
You
normally
have-
go to welding school?
You have some that do welding school.
Okay.
But I've yet to have one pass a welding test out of school.
Oh, really?
Serious?
They'll come in and actually we hire them as helpers.
Yeah.
Which is tacking as a fitters, fit everything together.
Yeah.
And then they learn more on site than they do in the welding school.
Oh, I mean, not comparing at all, but I mean, I went to hair school. I did hair, I have license, whatever. You go to school for a year and then you get a job and you know nothing. Like
Yes,
you
it's-
learn
it's a lot of
so
practice
much
time.
on the job. Absolutely. Okay.
And I think from a schooling standpoint, like number one, it's a good thing to get kids into if they've got the time, so that they can get some experience, understand what they're getting themselves into, like make a decision of, is this what I want to do, or maybe this isn't what I thought it was. Maybe I want to go this route or whatever. And then you probably do pick up a bunch of basics, like a lot of the
Yes.
base level that you need.
Agree.
But obviously, like anything else, I mean, there's nothing like on the job training. That's where you're.
No, and we're falling real short on the availability of
Absolutely.
pipe welders, pipe fabricators.
Yeah.
Searching for any we can get right now.
Yeah. You and everybody else, man. I feel like it's every industry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which a lot of the folks that listen to this podcast know where we stand on that and what our feelings are. But a lot of them have kids coming up, and we always encourage, man, like get in the trades. And there's so many companies out there doing things like we do a lot in agriculture where we're at. And there's a lot of companies, like yours that are in agriculture that are helping pay for the schooling, signing bonuses, all these kinds of things that can really build a good career for a kid coming up. I mean, it's a smart way to go. And it's been, I mean, how's it been for you? I mean, you're living proof, so.
Yeah, it's been a great career. It's hard on your body, but everything
Yeah.
else is too.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Because you're in like weird positions, hard on your body, or is there a lot of
Not
weight?
so bad.
I know
A
that
lot
might
of-
be a weird question, but like,
It's a lot of what you're breathing in.
Yeah.
As you're welding.
okay, hard on your body
Yeah,
that
you got
way.
a lot of chemicals, hard on your eyes.
Sure.
Okay.
Like I say, they make a lot of good respirators and stuff that people need to wear that a lot of times they don't wear.
And
I
that's
see.
a big point. Yeah. And when you started, I don't know, maybe a lot of that stuff wasn't available.
No, it was available, but
Okay.
we didn't use it.
You just went to work.
We were hard-headed.
So you would probably, I'm guessing, recommend like to a young guy or a young lady coming up into this, like take that side seriously.
Yeah, take the safe side.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's a lot of cancers out there just from what you're breathing in.
Absolutely.
And
yeah.
it's probably like annoying because it would be in the way, right? Or mask or goggle or something, right?
Yes, it makes your job a lot harder.
Okay.
It's a lot hotter.
Yes.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
But at the end of the day, it actually saves your life.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Right.
And lets you have a little, maybe longer, more prosperous career, you know? I mean, if you got to stop at some point because of your health and you could have prevented that, you definitely need to be thinking about that for sure.
Right.
Yeah. So, so the welding thing, you've been doing that. So let's talk a little bit about the smoker business and how I met you. So you call it CT Custom Smokers, right?
Yes, that actually stems from a brand that my grandpa had on this land.
Okay.
It was for Cecil and Tommy Wayne, and it actually falls in good for my kids because it's Cody and Taylor.
Oh, cool.
Oh,
So I just kind
gosh,
of rolled
that's
it over into
awesome.
that.
Yeah. So carried that name on and started. When did you kind of officially start building these things?
I actually started advertising probably about 3 years ago,
Okay.
and as a hobby. But like I say, eventually I've got a few shops in the works. We're fixing to start building. So,
Yeah.
it's going to be more full time as soon as I can get the orders back in it.
I got you. So you're looking at really growing this thing.
Yes.
Is what you're saying. Yeah. How many, like up until this point, how many do you think you've built and sent out?
Total altogether, probably around 30.
30. Okay.
Like I say, started up front building them ahead and putting them out for sale, and
Yep.
then now do custom orders.
Okay. Yep. So similar to like our setup here, where I got a hold of you. You gave me all the details. You were very thorough. Every question that I had, you had photos and answers, and then take a down payment, and then start building, and then figure out how to either pick up or deliver, and then take the final payment.
Yes, we run from there. As soon as anybody gets with me, we'll go through all the questions. We'll do the deposit, and then I do delivery if need be.
Yeah.
Like I say, I've got one going to California probably towards the middle of the year.
Yeah.
But a lot of people want to come down and pick them up.
Right. And yeah, for sure. And I mean, I wanted to. It was convenient for us because we got family in Houston, but I just like seeing the setup. I love the old schoolness of it. And the story behind things is, to me, what really makes the product, so I would definitely encourage you, whatever you guys do with the business going forward, that you keep that story. That's a big part, especially in these things like smokers. I mean, that's a thing that people gather around.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this one a little bit. So what did you build for me?
All right, this one is a 500-gallon, the traditional offset smoker with some baffle plates to kind of help spread the heat around. We end up going with the fold-down counterweights, the fold-down stack, the tandem axle trailer with the electric brakes. Like I say, heavy-duty trailer. All the trailers are built out of straight square tubing. I've looked into a few other trailer companies that I could buy from, but they're all channel iron. So I stick with building them all.
I would say for sure, and I've seen a lot of trailers, not just smoker trailers, but it's the beefiest looking frame that I've seen.
Yeah, it's all square tubing, 2x4 square tubing.
Yeah.
Solid welded.
So you got the, if folks haven't seen these before, on the driver's side of the trailer is the setup with the 500-gallon tank. It's a former propane tank, right?
Yes.
Okay, so then worked on and fabricated and all that as a smoker. And then you add this massive firebox. That thing is, what did you say, it was like 40-something inches long?
Yeah, it's around 47 inches on that, fully insulated.
Yeah.
So insulated all the way around, doors, everything. I don't do the half insulated.
Yeah, fully insulated. And that's another thing. Like I said, as we were going through this, you were sending me photos of all the things that when I come down here today, I wouldn't be able to see because it's all, enclosed in that area.
And coming from me, who doesn't know anything really, and you've showed me, I think I had seen 3 pictures. Not that I'm uninterested, but I know nothing about this. I mean, this thing is badass, but it is huge.
It's
I've
big.
never seen anything this big ever. And his face when we rolled up, I just was looking at him like he was a little kid, just smiling from ear to ear. I'm gonna have to post pictures because this thing is amazing. I don't even know.
Yeah, traditionally the next size up is a 1,000. So you only had one more size to go. To
Okay,
max
so
out.
there is a bigger size.
Yes.
Oh my
so
gosh!
It'd be like double the size of that.
Who is using something that
So
big?
we went to a barbecue joint in I think it'd be like Katy-ish. It was, what was it called? Brian's something. It was a newer place.
Brian's Barbecue, I
it
think.
was something like that. Yeah, he's been in like a shed somewhere, I think outside of town from the sounds of it, and they got big enough where he was able to get in town, kind of in a strip mall setup. But they brought his old smoker in from the other place, and I guess they had to like crane it in. I mean, this thing is all day at least 1,000. It's probably 2,000. I don't know what it is.
Most of your local barbecue joints use a 1,000 on a skid.
Okay, yeah, just a beast.
Oh.
And set up like this too, with a big firebox on the side. The stack on his was probably 15, 20 foot tall.
Yeah.
Just a monster.
Yeah, they use a lot of the bigger stacks to get the flow.
Okay.
I say the bigger the pit, the bigger the firebox, the bigger the stack you're going to need.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
to me that is called a chimney. That is called a stack. Okay.
You could call it a chimney
Okay.
too,
It
yeah.
looks like a chimney. That thing is like really tall.
So
what is your point of making it that tall?
Well, in this thing, there's a couple of points. So
Okay.
this thing, I mean, I would say it's overbuilt, right? I mean, it's
Yes, we could have went a little shorter for the flow, but
Yeah.
I mean, with what you were wanting to do with it, we went a little taller, and
Yeah.
it won't affect it at all.
And when I say overbuilt, I'm talking about like every feature on this thing. Like everything is thick, heavy. So that stack itself, if we just talk about that, that's 8-inch pipe.
Yeah, 8-inch standard wall pipe. Like I say, you're almost 1/4 inch thick on the pipe. But if you're going to buy a smoker, buy one that's going to last.
100%.
I mean, build it, buy it one time.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you can go to Academy or wherever and buy the little thin ones.
Right.
It
Yep.
rust out in a couple of years.
Yep.
It's a big investment.
It is, absolutely. And so the thing was going to be so tall, and to try to get in the garage and stuff like that, we needed the stack to be able to fold down when we transport it. So you custom built that hinge system. That works really well. But the stack itself, that's just the fold over part. You said that was like 100 and
Yeah, it's around 172 pounds.
72 pounds.
Yeah, it's going to take 2 people to set it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw them pull it over, and it did take 2
Yeah.
adult-sized men.
So when you stand that thing up, I think you had taken some measurements from the ground to the top of it.
Yeah, it's right at 11 foot.
11 foot tall. And then so people who know smokers know typically on the top of that stack you've got some kind of dampener. And you can imagine 11 foot in the air, like how are you going to adjust that? So you built this system with a pole and an adjustment knob down the bottom where it's within reach when you're standing on the ground. And that's obviously the whole idea behind that. So you still get that usefulness out of that.
So then it's just hotter
When you
because
use
of
that.
the stack /
Well,
chimney.
yeah. So from a fire management standpoint, you've got in any kind of fire, like even our wood burner in the house at
Right.
home. I've got that little adjustment on the front where you've
Okay.
that's the air coming in, and then a lot of times you have an adjustment in the chimney where it's a dampener. You're dampening the air that's going out the chimney, so you're kind of pushing back at it.
I gotcha.
So you use those 2 adjustments to get your temperature to where you want it in the cooking chamber.
Okay. Is there any other purpose that you're going to use that height
Oh
of
yeah,
it?
yeah. So the reason one of the reasons we wanted this thing so tall is part of why where you kicked off, where you're talking about all the flags.
Yeah.
So we thought. So I've got a buddy of mine that I've gone in on this with, because him and I do a bunch of smoking, and we'll use it a bunch of different ways. And we were chatting, and he was like, "Man, what if that could be a flagpole?" And I got to looking at some of them, and I was like, "You're 100% right."
Will
Like,
it not burn the flag?
No. It won't.
Okay.
Most of your heat's going to be coming straight out the top. So
Okay, so the side you could touch it,
Yeah.
and it wouldn't be that hot. Okay.
So the idea here was, we thought, okay, depending on where this thing's parked and depending on which way the wind's blowing, we need like all 4 corners of a round tube available for holding a flag, because depending on which way the wind's going, you want to get it on that side so it's not wrapping itself
Yes.
around the chimney.
Okay.
So Randy welded these, they're chain links, right?
Yes.
Up around the top in 4 different spots where we'll hook the top of the flag, and then the bottom of the flag will have its like moving piece of cable or whatever it is holding it on.
Huh.
So it can sit there and fly while we're cooking some
So
badass
when
barbecue.
you're flying the first flag, you better be sending a picture over to Randy.
Oh, we will be. Yeah, we will be.
Yeah,
We'll-
probably won't be a Texas flag.
Probably not. It won't probably.
I'm not opposed to it. I mean,
Maybe you should. Honestly.
that's where this thing was born.
Yeah.
So
you
it's
should baptize
always
it.
going to have some Texas
And
in
our
it.
son was born in Texas.
That's
so,
right.
I mean, we
he
do
was.
have
Yep. So
some roots.
that reminds me a little bit what I wanted to talk to you about. Like, do you ever build? So if we talk about the style of the smoker, you would call it an offset, right?
Yes, traditional offset.
Traditional offset. So you've got, when you're looking at the smoker on the right side, you've got your big firebox. That's where the fire's coming in. It flows from right to left across the smoker, and then out the left side, up and out the chimney. So that's your kind of your cross flow or your offset, like you said. That seems to me, and all the research that I did on smokers, when I was trying to find which one I wanted to buy, this is Texas through and through. Like almost everything down here, this is how they're built.
Yeah, traditional Texas smoker.
Yeah. And when you go in different parts of the country, you see some different styles. Have you ever built any other styles that folks
Yes,
wanted?
we've done reverse flows. Like I say, I don't really do the charcoal style.
Okay.
I have done one for a buddy, but like I say, I'm more of an offset smoker, either traditional or reverse flow.
Yeah. And so folks understand that when you say reverse flow, so same kind of setup the way this one's designed. You got a firebox on the right. The fire and the hot air comes into the cooking chamber. It's flowing from right to left, but then it's forced under a plate, and then to come back around back to the right side and out. Right?
Yes, you
That's
got
the
a
whole-
deflector plate that runs from the firebox. You'll normally have about 12 inches on the opposite end open.
Okay.
And your stack will be on the same end as your firebox.
Okay.
Just to draw everything that way.
Yep.
And you get a lot of radiant heat off of the plate.
Sure. Yeah.
And it's better for a lot of your slower cooks.
Okay. Yeah. And that's what someone was telling me. Like these traditional offsets like this move a lot of air and a lot of heat.
A lot of air, a lot of heat, a lot of wood.
Yeah.
Now, the insulated firebox will help a lot of your wood consumption.
Okay.
I know a lot of guys up north like to use them in the colder areas, but around Texas, all they benefit you is the wood consumption.
Okay. Yep. And that's something I'm excited about because I've never cooked on one with an insulated firebox, and I've heard a lot of really good things about them.
I haven't either.
You haven't?
No.
Yeah, I thought I saw you do that one time.
I think you need to talk about the paint job or whatever because I love the distressed.
Yeah, so these things, I mean, they're
Like I don't even know what it comes looking like raw. Was it white originally?
Yes, it was originally white.
Oh, okay.
you know, like if you see like at home,
Like
people have
antiqued.
propane tanks in their
Yes.
front yard.
Oh, yeah.
That's what this is.
Duh. Okay,
Yeah.
you said that. I'm
Yeah.
like connecting it. Golly,
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
I'm really not that dingy.
Well,
Okay, am
you
I?
don't know what it is, but
Yeah,
So
they-
then you like roughed it up.
Yes, we'll patina it a little bit. Like I say, you can get them in different varieties. Some of them actually have some nice original patina, but you got to be careful because patina comes with rust. You got to watch for the pitting.
God, I really like it.
and and some guys will have them fully painted. I mean, you've done them
Yes,
fully painted,
I've had them
right?
fully painted. I've had them bare metal, clear
Yeah.
coated. Like I say, there's a variety of different ways to go.
Yeah.
On the insulated, a lot of times you can use automotive paint.
Okay.
They don't get as hot.
Yep.
But yeah, there's a wide variety of whatever you want.
So on this setup, I think I was getting at this earlier. So on the driver's side of the trailer is the whole smoker setup, and then on the passenger side of the trailer is wide open with some storage built.
Yes. Yeah, you've got two storages. Like I say, both of them are 6 foot by 3 foot. So you got 12 foot of storage for wood, coolers, anything you want to put up there.
Yep. And that's perfect because you always need that when you're running around to places. So the trailer itself, you custom built the trailer. It's all painted gloss black. The fenders, the framing, the racking on the side, and then the smoker is raw, like Morgan was saying. So you've got the white paint from the propane tank, but obviously it's a used propane tank. So over the years, some of the paint has chipped. It's developed a little bit of its own rust, whatever. So you hit those areas and kind of sand them down is the idea?
Knock them down. Like I say, you can let them rust up a little bit more and then put some more oil on it. But it's got one coat of linseed oil on it now.
Yeah.
Like I say, just get it up to 400 degrees and wipe her down.
I love the look of it.
It's a lot easier maintenance than paint.
Sure. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I bet paint would be harder
Yeah,
to
'cause
keep.
once you cook on it, I mean, just wipe it down.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the firebox is raw metal. The cooking chamber is the propane tank that's got its patinaed areas. The smokestack is raw metal. The hinges and the handles and all those things are raw metal, and then everything's just oiled for that, and it just gives you that old school look.
Yeah, and how quick did you do this? I mean, seriously, this seems really quick.
It's actually probably around 80 hours.
Okay.
Now doing it in between my
Yeah, your full
everyday job, full-time job.
Right. Yep.
But yeah, you can do one in probably 80 to 90 hours.
Well, you can. Not most people.
Yeah, not a lot. I don't think a lot of people can. Yeah.
I
not
mean,
that.
it just looks like
The more
a
you do it,
lot.
the easier it is.
Yes,
Yeah,
a
I'm sure.
lot
Yeah.
of work and hours and love went into this.
It's
Seriously.
got a story for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
And a lot of guys know, like when you look at something that's been welded, you know if the welder knows what he's doing or not.
Yeah, and I'm too picky.
Yeah.
I do everything myself.
Yeah.
I've got several people that want to come help, but I guess just too proud of what I do.
Yeah. All right. Well, I hear you, man. You should be. It's badass. So yeah, I mean that's the kind of setup. So when I was looking at what I wanted for the finish, and this is for anybody who's interested in these things, where I found yours was on Facebook. Is that pretty much the only place you?
Yes, right now it's Facebook.
Okay.
I've got a web designer working on some other things, but kind of web is outdated.
Sure,
Most
yep.
everybody's social media now.
Yep. So if you look up on Facebook, CT Custom Smokers, that's what I would hunt. I think that was the way it was set up, wasn't it?
Yeah, CT
Yep.
Custom Smokers.
Yep.
And a lot of my ads actually tie back into my regular Facebook under Randy
Yep.
Carrell.
Yep. So when I looked on there, I could see all of your past posts and a lot of the different ones that you had done. And I had picked one out in particular. I think that was a 250 that looked like this, and that was kind of how we came up with this.
That's
this
what I
finish.
wondered if
Yeah.
then on your website, if people went there, they could see what you've done in the past. So
Yes.
you obviously have
Yes,
all
I
your
post
stuff up there.
Pictures
and-
of previous builds, in-process pictures. Same thing I send out to everybody that orders one.
Yes.
Like you said, it's a lot of scams out there right now.
Yeah.
Stealing pictures and trying to get people to send deposits. So
Right.
Yeah.
yeah, I try to communicate as best as I can.
He's a real dude.
He's
Guys,
real.
he's
I see
real.
him. He's
We're
right here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Guys,
And,
CT.
Yeah, CT. So check that out. And if folks were to go to your Facebook page right now, if they looked at like probably your last 3 or 4 posts or so, they're going to see this one.
Yes,
'Cause
they're
you
going
had
to see
posted
this
a lot
one.
of
I've got a
build.
few more to add this evening.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, everything I build is posted up from smokers to gates, a little bit of everything.
Cool.
So then they would just message you, obviously, and then you want to talk to people live, like on the phone. So it's just easier probably than messaging back and forth.
I do through messaging, text messages,
Okay.
phone calls.
Perfect.
Available all the time.
Okay.
I feel like the communication that I had with you, you were just very open to however I wanted to talk. If I wanted to text, you text. If I wanted to send on Facebook Messenger, you'd do that. If I wanted to call you, you'd answer, whatever. So it all worked out good that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, phone's on me at all times, so I can get it all different directions.
Yeah. Cool, man. Well, I couldn't be any more excited. I can't wait to get that thing home and put it to work. We are still kind of in our cold season up there, unfortunately, but
I know. Dang it. I think it might even snow in a couple weeks. I hate
that sucks.
to tell you that.
That does.
I looked at
we
the
were
weather.
17 degrees one day and 70 2 days later.
It's been
Oh,
nice
yeah,
since
it's
we were
been beautiful
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think right before y'all come down, we had a little cold snap that was 7-degree wind chill.
Do you see that typically, or was that?
The last 2 years, we've had
Okay.
a few cold snaps.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what you called it, a cold snap?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
7 degrees around here. I bet people are losing their mind.
Oh, yeah, nobody knows how to drive.
But the funny thing is
We actually
we're
shut the company down for a day. Yes.
And not only that, I mean, like probably a lot of the infrastructure around here isn't even built for that. Like people had to have pipe issues and water issues and stuff like that.
Yeah, everybody had frozen pipes.
Yeah.
I know the one last year we had power lines were down. We're not set up for that kind of cold.
Yeah.
no, and you guys, it's 70 degrees and people are still in pants and stuff. And normally, like and yesterday I was in shorts and a t-shirt, and my sister who lives in town, she's in a hoodie and
Yeah,
leggings.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it's just funny when you come in from a cold state to a warmer, what you think
It
is
is,
warm.
yeah.
Yeah. But I was going to ask you, this town, how big is this town?
I think the population is around 7,500,
Okay.
which, like we had talked, our fire
Yeah.
district actually covers more than the
Yep.
city.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not good at like estimating, but it looked like smaller as we were driving in, and we're so used to small towns. So
Yeah. Well, to kind of close out, I kind of wanted to do this earlier, but we started talking about the smoker. So I want to close out with folks kind of getting to know a little bit more about you and what you got going on. You and I have been chatting back and forth, and I feel like you're a buddy now. You know, a lot of things we've been talking about. You do serve on your local, is it all volunteer fire department?
Yes, Buena is all volunteer.
Okay, yep. How long you been doing that?
I started right after Hurricane Rita, so probably around 2006.
Okay. And one of the things you shared with me was that you've got a couple kids. What's
Yeah, I've got a
ages
son.
okay.
My son is 19,
Okay.
doing his senior year in high school.
Yep.
He's doing the fire academy through Kilgore State College, which is the first couple of classes every day. So by the time he's done with that, he should be able to go do the state test.
Is that his plan to be a career fireman?
Yes, that's
Yep.
his plan. I've tried to keep him out of construction as much as I could. So yeah, that's his plan. Which locally they're hiring around 78,000 right out of school.
Yeah.
And you're working half the year.
Yeah, right. Yep. It's a good career. And then you have a daughter?
Yes, I have a daughter. She's trying to major in art. Like I say, she's a junior now. She's got several scholarships, but that's her big thing is art. So as long as she finds a degree that'll work after.
Right, yep.
So I told her, art's nice. Just make sure you find something you can use.
Yeah. And the other night we were talking because we were trying to figure out when we were going to come over from Houston, and you're finishing up some projects and stuff, and you said something about she got some award in town or something. Yeah,
she's one of the sweethearts for this our local festival.
Okay.
Buena announces their king and queen, which is normally your senior citizen.
Okay.
And then they got a couple of sweethearts for the Redbud Festival.
Okay.
And then we do the pageant, which is the same weekend as Redbud Festival. So
that's awesome. What's the Redbud Festival?
It's just a local festival.
Okay.
Like I say, you get together, rides, carnival, all the fun stuff.
And for people who aren't from here, what's a redbud?
Redbud is actually a tree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a redbud tree.
Okay, I would have guessed a bush. Okay, it's a tree.
Pretty close.
Okay.
Pretty close.
Yeah. So like, do all those trees kind of like bloom at the same time around here or something like that?
They're like I say, it's been kind of tradition just to have the Redbud Festival.
Yeah, that's cool.
And is there a Mrs.?
Yes, she's not feeling well today.
Okay.
We didn't get.
I tried to get her out here, but
she says no. Okay.
That's all right. No, it's cool, man. It's small town stories. Similar. It's crazy. We're 1,000 miles from home, but similar mentalities, similar people. Which that's the best part of it. So. But yeah, did you have any other questions or anything?
No, I just keep if people could see the view, it's just
it's
a
cool.
great view out here and where we're at. And now the interesting part will be to haul this sucker home. Let's just hope 1,000 miles we make it.
Yeah.
I don't know why we wouldn't.
Yeah, it's just gonna be a long drive.
But actually, why didn't you put the white tank on the other side? How did you decide?
It's just traditional to go driver's side.
Oh, it is.
You can do either side, but
so it would be weird if you saw one on the other side.
Everyone you'll see is actually on the driver's side.
Okay. All right. That's good to know.
Yeah, it's just how they are. Yeah, you're right.
It's just a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, I've got a twin 750 gallon coming up, so you'll have one on both sides.
One on each side.
Oh, gosh.
That's the one you said is going to California?
Yeah, it'll be going to San Ladon, California.
That's crazy.
That is a long haul.
Yeah,
so how many? That would be double. That'd be like 2,000 miles.
Yeah, I haven't even.
Holy cow.
And that one will be delivered.
Oh, you get the joy to take that there.
Yep.
Man.
Okay. Well, people got to pay for that. If you want him there, you got to pay for it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be delivered for the right price.
Exactly. Yeah. Randy will bring it to your backyard, guys, but you got to pay.
Well, no doubt you're getting after it, man. You should be proud of what you're doing. I can't wait to get home and show all my buddies. And like I said, put this thing to work this year. Once we warm up a little bit, we're going to be doing a bunch of events and stuff for our business. So
yes,
anybody who's listening, who's local, come out to anything that we're doing. We'll be announcing it and check things out.
And you'll put all of his information in the notes, right?
For sure. Yep.
Okay.
And if you want to talk to Randy, if you're interested in any smokers, for sure. I imagine like any kind of big metal fab products where you don't have to be on site, because if you're talking to somebody in Nebraska or whatever, that they could pick up.
Yeah, I do anything locally. That's one reason I don't have a portable machine.
Yep.
Stay at the house.
Sure. Yep. I hear you.
Makes sense.
So easy to find CT Custom Smokers on Facebook. And as I said, he will respond. He'll get you the info you want. So
yeah.
It's been a really neat experience. It's like we went out on a limb. I feel like you went out on a limb working with somebody from all the way across the country. I went out on a limb, and it's just a cool story. Everything came together.
So is Ben's smoker here the furthest one? technically thus far?
At the moment, yes, it is.
Oh, I like that.
I say you don't sell a lot in Buena,
yeah.
Yeah.
but a lot of mine have been going to West Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing. And I mean, we don't need to necessarily talk about pricing or anything, but I can tell folks that if you are looking for a quality build for an affordable price, a fair price, that's what this is. And this is one of the reasons that made me feel so comfortable with Randy's. I just felt like he's not trying to take advantage of me. He's going the extra mile. We did a lot of last minute mods that you were super flexible on and made happen. And I couldn't be any more happy with it. I feel like one of those dudes on like, like you watch those car TV shows, like when they unveil the new car and the guy's like, oh my God, he comes walking out, like it's crazy.
Right. I know your like calmness because this is how he is always, but inside he's freaking out.
Yeah.
Freaking out. I just know it. So if it was on the outside, he'd be just jumping up and down. If it were me,
probably.
Yeah, I'd be screaming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most likely.
So
Well,
awesome. Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy. Thanks for having us, man. Thanks for taking the time to record. I'm sure folks will enjoy this, and it's right up our alley. So thank you for all your work, and we'll definitely stay in touch.
No problem.
All right, brother. We'll see you.
Thank you.